Good afternoon. In today's video, we have kind of a theme going. It's going to be a food-themed makeup look. Now, it didn't start as this. I was going to pick out like springy makeup, and I started with my setting spray, moving on to primer, and my reactions to those were like picking out like fruity scents and kind of like, you know, the ones that had really pretty packaging. And so I was looking for spring themed makeup. Well, as I started going, I was like, I'm picking off a lot of food themed makeup. And I had started also with these two palettes. So I just embraced what I was already picking and dug through to find quite a bit. Almost everything is either like food themed like this, like the packaging, or I even went through and tried to find things that were maybe named after, you know, like I took this probably a little too far. But I'm really excited to do this though. I've not used some of these products in a long time. Some of them are newer. Some of them are, you know, things I have had for years. And to actually like see it all together, and a lot of them are just really cute packaging. And so we're just going to roll with that. And I think I only have maybe 2 or 3 things that I couldn't find anything, you know, food themed. But other than that, we're just going to roll with it and let's get started. For my lips, before I get really going on the face, I'm going to use my Tatcha. This is the Japanese Peach Lip Jelly. So we'll start with the peaches. And I've only used this the one time because I'm trying to use up my hangover balm from Too Faced. Now this doesn't really smell like peach. I kind of wish it did, but there's that. Onto face spray, I'm going to use my Milani Blueberry Scented. I had about a million choices for this. I have all the fruit scents, so. Okay, well that's still a little bit like damp on my eyes. I'm actually going to apply, this is one of the ones I couldn't find. I don't have a ton of eye primers, so I'm just going to use the Color Tattoo in VIP. I've only used it once, so we'll pull it back out and see how we like it here. I did actually have somebody ask if I've tried the Juvia's Place yet, and they said it was really good, so I've not tried that yet. I was going to pick it up when I got my MAC paint pot, but I thought, no, be good, don't buy so many. But when they asked and they said, it's really nice, I'm like, okay, I gotta have it. So next time I go to Ulta, I guess I'll try to find it. I guess I could order it from their website, but I know if I go on there to order that, I'm going to end up buying eyeshadow. You know, maybe I'll look, see if they're having a sale. Talk myself into it. Onto face primer. I actually have the Milani Avocado Redness Correcting Primer. I've not tried this one yet. It was between this one and the peach one. I was actually going to use that one again, but I've already used that, so I wanted to give this one a try. The Avocado. Now it is actually green, but if you watched my haul video, it smells just kind of fresh. I expected it to smell like, it looks like mashed up avocado, you know, so that's what I was expecting. But anyway, we're going to blend this into the skin. Could always use a little redness correction, but I don't think it's doing much in terms of that, but it does appear to be a little bit mattifying though, which is nice. Everything else I've picked up recently has been like glowy, dewy, shiny, so this is good. These allergies are hitting me like crazy, so if throughout the video I pop back up and my nose is red, I've taken allergy medicine this morning, but it's not doing much. So on to eyebrows. Now this was something that I struggled to find a food themed item. The packaging was all pretty plain. You know, I feel like brows are very basic, so they don't really, there's not a lot of gimmick to it. You know, you're going to buy the one that matches and you're going to use it. So I dug through, actually read all the names, so I came up with a couple actually. The Becca Shadow and Light Brow Contour Mousse in Cocoa, which is an option here. My Milani Precision Brow in Caramel. And then I actually found 2 brow gels from Sephora in Nutmeg Brown and Honey Blonde. So just to go with the theme, I was taking it like I wanted everything to have either the name or the packaging to kind of go with this. So I think I'm going to start with the brow pencil. It is raining outside. If you can hear that, I apologize. I've also adjusted my sound settings today, so hopefully I didn't like turn them down too far. I think I just talked too loud. So I'm doing the, using the manual settings instead today, instead of like the ones on the back. This is one of my favorite brow pencils, by the way. Makes me think of the e.l.f. ones in the same packaging. But I actually feel like these are a little bit softer, like not too soft. But the e.l.f. ones, I enjoy those, but I feel like they almost rip my brow hairs out a little bit if I'm not too careful. But this one I really like. There's a piece of glitter right here on my cheek. I have the shade Caramel and the shade Light Brown. I use both. I'm pretty willy-nilly with my brow products, honestly. I have some that are like brunette, some that are blonde, some that are taupe, some that are caramel. Okay, I was actually going to go in with the pomade as well, but I feel like this looks really good, so I'm not going to mess with it. But I am going to go in with the Honey Blonde of this. These are the gel brow builders. So they're actually like, I wouldn't really have to go in with a pencil with this, but I prefer to. See, there's like a ton of product on the wand. This one's a lot lighter than that one. So since I already have my brows filled in, I'm going to go in with the blonde one and wipe off a lot of this product. Okay. Onto foundation. The one that popped out in my mind that was like, yes, food themed, was the Peach Perfect by Too Faced. Now, this is a pretty full coverage foundation, and then that's not been my favorite thing lately. So, actually for my project pan, I'm going to pull out my Revlon, because this is in the shade Creme Brulee. So I thought, it goes with the theme. I'll let myself mix them. But I've not used this in quite a while, so we'll see how the shade matches on this. I have the shades Snow and the shade Vanilla. I think it's Vanilla, which would have been more appropriate. But it is very, very orange on me, like very orange. I have to use it in the summer to make it match at all. This one I've not used, so let's put a little. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I think I'm going to dab this all over the face. It does smell like peaches. Okay, that was about a pump, probably not even a full one. And then I'm going to take some of my Revlon. I am just trying to use this up. I mean, look at this. So we're going to go with a little bit of this. The shade of this is about perfect for me. Just going to kind of mix that in with the Too Faced. See how that's more orange yellow, and then that made it a more like neutral color, I guess. I think that's part of why I don't wear the Peach Perfect. It's a little bit of a heavier foundation. Now I'm going to use a sponge for this instead of my brush today. I wonder if this will help my foundation, like that Revlon foundation, be a little more long wearing, because it wears off pretty quickly. It looks really nice. It's really easy to apply. It's medium coverage. But about halfway through the day, like this whole middle part of my face will be absolutely bare. But I don't mind wearing it on days when I'm trying to look a little more casual. I'm not doing a full glam. Wow. I have to say, like even up here in my hairline, that looks really nice. Okay, so we'll leave these setting off to the side together, and because I am trying to use this up, but I even have another one. I have a backup of this. But if mixing these together, if this wears like this all day, we might have a new favorite. Onto concealer. Now this was something, I had to dig for these. I didn't think I had any that were food themed. None of the names, none of the products, you know, it's just not something. It's kind of like the brows where I feel like it's not a real gimmicky product. But I ended up finding my Hello Fab Bendy Avocado concealers. The avocado. And then I actually found in the drawer my Milk Makeup. And I thought, these are both appropriately named. So I think I'm going to use, I have two shades in each of these. I don't love the milk. I feel like it creases. And this one's not super full coverage. So I think I'm going to use one of each, and we'll just kind of go from there. I have 1 and 2 in this. I'm going to use 1, which is the lighter shade. And in the milk one, I'm going to use the shade Vanilla. Like I said, I probably took this too far looking for ones that were food themed, but it just kind of, it was fun digging through stuff, you know, looking for that. I'm only going to put the milk under my eyes on like the darker circles, and then I'm going to put the lighter one all over the center of the face. While we're letting this sit for a second, I'm going to pull out the powders. And for powder, I pulled out my Burt's Bees mattifying powder because this looks like a little honeycomb on the inside. It has like the little waffle pattern. Then, when I was in there looking for concealers, I actually found my Too Faced peach blur powder, and actually has a little peach on it, and it actually smells like peaches a little bit still. This is a very old powder, but I used this quite a bit. You can see there's like a dent in it, but I was like, is this actually doing anything? I don't know. So I've not used this in a long time, so I'm excited to pull this back out. I'll probably set my under eyes with that, and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to take my sponge and just blend out that concealer. Now I hope I'm looking at the camera. If it looks like I'm looking like down weird places, I changed my setup to where my monitor is like below my camera. It usually is off to the side. So I don't know. I feel like when I change it around, I start to do weird stuff, like I'm staring at this instead of here, and just, I apologize, it's weird. I'm hoping it'll be a little better for me to be able to tell when my lighting goes out, and I won't have to cut out so much of me talking while I'm, in the dark. So for under the eyes, we're going to go in with the Peach Blur Powder. I'm actually going to use my Real Techniques microfiber sponge. I've been using this for like loose powder, so I'm going to run that in this and see. That feels really set. It looks like it darkened it a little tiny bit, but that feels really set, and I feel like that was my problem with this. You can actually see it on the sponge. Right there, it's like really peachy looking. I feel like that was my problem with this when I applied it with the brush, is it didn't pick up much, and then I felt like it didn't really set. It feels powdered. Where is this glitter coming from? It's kind of darkening it, which is what I thought it might do, but it's making it like this peachy color, not like, sometimes when it darkens, your concealer, it almost turns it back to like the dark circles and like I don't know. We'll have to see. It was just fun to pull that back out again, my Peach Blur powder. I'm going to set the rest of the face with the mattifying Burt's Bees powder. I'm going to use a brush for this one. Okay, it's definitely getting more peachy as I'm setting here. Like, it looks nice. It almost looks glowy, but it is set. It is very peach. So I'm going to put a little bit of this over it just to see. On to contour. Now this one I had to dig around for because I have like 5 or 6 contour powders that I use all the time. And then I have some like contour palettes, and I'm like, I don't have anything. I don't have any. I thought I was just going to use my Kevyn Aucoin again. Well, I was looking through the dresser and I found the Covergirl Chocoholic contour palette, and it smells like chocolate. And I don't really use these highlighters on the ends. They're a little too dark for me. But this powder in the center is a really, really pretty contour shade. But this is so pigmented. I don't even know if they sell this anymore. I feel like I'm going to have to... I'll tell you. I feel like I'm going to say that about a lot of this. I don't know if they sell a lot of this anymore. Pretty sure the Peach Foundation's discontinued, because I think I got it on sale when it was. But I think the shade is why I stopped wearing that Peach Foundation. So mixed with that Revlon one, it's looking really good. This makes me think of my Hard Candy, like the little box bronzer. I still have that, but it smelled like this. That was one of my first bronzers. Whoa. Blend that out real quick. Like I said, this is super pigmented. A little bit down the side of the nose, gently. Okay, I think that's why I don't have this out anymore. It's a really, really, really good color, and once you get it blended out, it looks really nice. But it is so easy to overdo it with this. Oh my. Okay. I'm gonna go back in with my powder brush. I'm gonna go back in with this and just tap over everything. It is very blendable though. And then we'll just blend over all of this. See, it blended out nicely. Onto bronzer. I actually found 2 bronzers that were food themed, and that is the Hot Cocoa bronzer, which some of these products were picked out for my, husband picks my makeup, sons pick my makeup. They picked a lot of the ones that are really cute like these, but that's why I took this like a step further and went brows, eyeliners, everything I could find that had food theming. So I have the Too Faced Hot Cocoa and the Too Faced Sweetie Pie. And I think we're also seeing a brand here, a couple brands that like to do the food theming. So I think I'm going to use, I feel like I've used this one more recently in one of those videos. So I think I'm actually going to use my Sweetie Pie bronzer. Plus the peach goes with the foundation and the powder we put on. Now this was one of my favorite ones when I got it. And maybe I have talked about this. I feel like I've talked about this recently, where the pink's starting to pop up more to the top, so it's a very rosy bronzer. almost blushy looking. If it looks too blushy, we'll go over it with the other one. Again with this Zoeva brush. This has been one of my favorites as of like a week ago. After I washed them, I used it for this, and I really, really like it for bronzing. Now, instead of moving on to blush now, we're going to actually go into the eyeshadow. I have several choices for highlighters, blushes, eyeliners, lipsticks, and I want to kind of know where I'm headed with the eyes before we go into that, because I kind of want to just play with these eyeshadows. So, for eyeshadow, as you saw earlier, I've chosen the Glamlite palette. This was the one I originally picked as like a spring palette. And there is that. And I went ahead and pulled out the taco palette to go with it when I was going to do the food theme, because this one has like deeper shades in it. So we're going to play with both of these palettes, and then we'll go in and finish the rest of the face products, the lipsticks, and see where we're headed with that. Now, I don't think I've ever actually even used the taco palette. I've used the cake palette. I've done looks with this. Excuse me, I've done a look with this. And I don't know, I'm like, why do I do that? I use it and then never use it again. Now in the cake palette, I'm trying to look and see which ones I've not used yet. I've not dipped into these orangey ones, the peach shade, the light purple shade. I'm thinking maybe purple and yellow. But this guava shade I think is what I used last time on the lid. So good. So good. But I also kind of wanted to use key lime. So I'm all over the place right now, so let me look at this for just a second and we'll discuss. Okay, I think I have decided kind of where we're headed with this. We're going to start with this light purple shade right here in the center. Then I think we're going to use probably the yellow on the lid, but we're going to see. And there's also a darker purple in this one I think we're going to reach into as well. So we're going to get started and see where this takes us. Now we're taking that purple shade into the crease to start. Looking close enough to the camera. Like I said, moved everything around so I don't know. This will be kind of a test video of the sound and the distance from the camera. It doesn't have zoom. I just have to physically move closer to it. So, ooh, that's really pretty. I love purple eyeshadow. I also have one other Glamlite palette that I've not even swatched yet, I don't think, and it is this one. It is the pizza palette. That's my other Glamlite palette. Look how cute. I don't think I've even swatched this one yet. No, so it has the plastic on it. Okay, I've swatched some. Here's the inside of that one. It's a little bit cumbersome to hold. I might go ahead and pull this one out as well since we're here. I mean, the pizza one's definitely more cumbersome to try to store. That's why I kept the box. It keeps fading out when I show this box, so I'm not going to put it up there too close. But that's why I keep this box. Is because it's actually like a square and then it sets on the shelf nicely. Like, trying to put that on there would be a nightmare. It's rolling everywhere, I'm assuming. So I also keep the taco palette in its box. And the cake palette I keep in the box because it's just adorable. So yeah, this started this whole thing as was supposed to be a spring look. And then when I picked out this and the blueberry setting spray and the avocado primer, because those are newer to me, and then I was like, okay, now we just got to roll with that, and we'll do the spring look later. Okay, I think we're going to go into the taco palette now, into the shade Red Cabbage, and put that on the outer edge. I think I'll go ahead and use this same brush for now. Wow. Let's take some of that to the other side. Oh my gosh, one dip just did like both outer corners. Oh my. Okay. I really, really like the way that this is looking. These are beautiful purples. Go back in with that light purple shade. A little more on the inside. I'm just going to buff over the edges of that a little bit. I wanted to create like that upward shape, but I don't want it to look too harsh. So it has no more product on it. I'm just blending out what's there. Okay, now where to go from here though? I'm like, there's so many shimmer choices in here that are absolutely stunning. I don't think I'm going to use any out of the taco or pizza palette. These are definitely like deeper. This is a very fall palette to me. Like that's what this gives me vibes of. It is nice paired with this though, because there's like a deeper, in that palette there's a deeper green, there's a deeper purple, so it kind of rounds this one out, which is nice. But the shimmers, I want to put like all of these shimmers on. Like the banana shade, the carrot shade. I want to use the guava again. I want to put all of these all over my face. So I'm going to pick one or two and we'll work with that. Orange, yellow. I think I'm going to go with the yellow. That was kind of my plan to begin with. And I think I'm just going to stick with that. Okay. I think the last couple times I've used the Glamlite palettes, I did use a glitter primer and I do think it creased a bit. So I'm going to try it today without a glitter primer. We'll see if it applies well, if I feel like I need to go in with a primer underneath. And we'll just kind of see how it goes. I'm going to use this little brush here and go in with the shade Banana. I feel like I'm going to have to apply this with my finger though. Let's try that. Okay, that looks really pretty. I'm going to take that on the other eye as well. They are a little bit, not flaky, but they are very glittery, like with chunks of glitter. So I'm going to see how this wears without a glitter primer, and next time I might put it on. I do think I need to pick up a new one though. Okay. Look at that. Ooh. Okay, I really like the texture of that. It is very glittery. Like you can see that. I'm going to take some of the, I think, lavender shade just on my finger and tap that over the edge just to soften that line. Now underneath the eyes, I think I'm just going to have to do something totally different because there are so many beautiful colors in here. I want to use them all. So I'm going to pick, I think, the Icy Mint shade. I think we're just going to go full on. You know, there's the, and here's the peach. Oh my goodness. Raspberry. They're all so pretty. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I used a birthday cake last time. You know, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to use the Icy Mint shade, which is this like teal right here. We're just going to go for it. I'm just going to try it out. Well, before I do that, let me pull out my eyeliners. These are the colors. I will tell you the names of them in a minute once we get to this. But these are the colors I chose. There's a couple green ones, a nude, and a pink. Flip those so you can see it. So I don't know if this Icy Mint is going to really match any of it, but maybe we'll just go full on. All right, we'll make it work because this is a really pretty shade. Okay. So looking at the eyeliners that I chose, we'll make this work by doing it this way. I'm going to take this Icy Mint on the outer. Look how pigmented that is. I mean, this is like barely touching this. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, and I think I'm going to blend this into the inner corner with the Key Lime shade because the eyeliners I have will go better with this, I think. I don't know. I'm going to take Icy Mint again and go further in. It's just so pretty. Look at that. Look at it. Oh my gosh. Now for the inner corner, I think I'm going to actually use the Pineapple shade, which is the matte yellow, and see how we like that. Been into the matte inner corner lately, like the bright pop of a matte color. These mattes are so pigmented. I can't even believe it. Like, I've used this and I know that, but I'm shocked every time. All right, and then we'll kind of blend that into this blue to maybe create kind of a lime green that'll go with the eyeliner. This looks so cute. This is definitely a makeup playtime. It's not like this all goes together necessarily, but this looks really, really cool. Take a little more of that pineapple matte yellow shade. Yeah, I just thought these were appropriate for my look because they all have names of food as well. Let's do those. Okay, I think we'll take the key lime and just actually put that on between the yellow and blue. I feel like this is becoming more cohesive the more we're adding, like from yellow, green, blue, purple. Okay, I'm going to wipe everything off of this brush. And I'm just going to run it along the edge of my lower lash line, like where I put that. You know, I don't want to pull this like too far down and have like the blue and green down here. That's not what we're going for. I want it to stay nice and vibrant right on the lash line, but you also don't want it to look like just one big stripe. Well, I don't want it to look like that. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'm going to pull a little bit of the red cabbage shade, which was that dark purple we used on the outer corner, down just into like the outer corner. Barely any. Right here, just to blend into that blue, like a whisper of that purple. I am really happy with the way that this is looking. I feel like these really blend into each other nicely. Like the tones are very similar. Like you can see from the yellow to the green to the blue, like it's not like pastels versus neons versus like really deep shades. They're all kind of that same just bright color that blends into the next. Same with this one, like these are all really dark shades that I feel like will go really well together. So that's kind of nice. I love this. I'm just as impressed now as I was the first time I used this. So we'll go ahead and finish up the eyes while we're here, and then we'll go back and finish the face. For eyeliner, I actually had to dig out a couple of these. I didn't know which direction I was going to go with the eyes. I just kind of started playing. So I found the shade Limelight, the shade Honeydew Pop, and for me that's like what we call soda here, and what was this one? Magic Mint. So I'm not sure which way I want to go with this. I kind of feel like I want to go with the green. Maybe the lime green though. I also kind of want to like just go all the way out and just use this pink one. So let me see what that looks like on the hand. Okay, I think I'll tie it together a little bit more so I can pick like kind of a fun lip color. I think I'm going to use the shade Limelight, this green one. This is the Glide Gel Liner from LA Girl. This looks almost exactly the same color as that green we put on, so hopefully this will just blend everything together. Okay, I have to say this looks really, really fun. This is really pretty. Those matte shades are so vibrant. I'm shocked. Like they're so vibrant. It's so nice. Now for liquid eyeliner, I struggled with this as well. It was kind of like the brows where there's not a lot of gimmick to it. The closest I found to either thing was the Bite Beauty, and this is just in black, but the Bite brand, and the Milani in Espresso Matte. And this is brown, this is black. I picked each one so I could decide now which one I wanted to use. So with the outfit I have on, I think I'm going to go with the Bite Beauty one. And we'll see how this goes. Using the applicator is not always the best thing for me. This one is really hard to get out of this tube too. Like you really have to yank it out and then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to get it all over myself. Now with this, I'm starting halfway across the lash line and then going back in to the center after I have a little bit of it off the wand. Because I usually start here and just work my way out, and then it's like all in the center of the eye and just runs everywhere. So, okay, I think we're going to skip the wings today because I already have like kind of that shape, and if I do a wing, I know it's not going to be like right in line with that, and yeah. So I think we're good on that, just darkening the lash line a bit. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and finish up the face because for mascara and lashes, I don't have anything that was food related, which I guess is a good thing, you know. Again, very basic products. So I'm going to finish those up off camera in a minute. So we're going to go ahead and do the cheeks here. I have blush and highlight to finish up. Okay, now for blush, I came up with a handful of things. And like I said, I was seeing what the finished look was before I chose. Of course, I have the Cherry Coke blush. Now this is a pretty deep shade, so I don't know. I'm feeling kind of bright and poppy, so I don't think we're going to use that one. But that one was, you know, my first thought for food, beverage related item. Then I pulled out my Burt's Bees in the shade Bare Peach and Toasted Cinnamon. They both look like honeycomb, and the names are also food related. And then I found my BH Cosmetics Vanilla Strawberry Truffle palette in my drawer, and this is like bright pink. Now, I don't reach for this very often. I don't love these tones on me normally, but since we have kind of like this fun bright look going on, I'm actually going to use this. I haven't touched this palette. I think I used it maybe once when I got it, and I was like, oh, it's okay. I've not bought any of the other ones that I've seen at TJ Maxx of like this. I don't know, I just wasn't super impressed. They feel a little, I don't know, there's something about them. It just was not my favorite formula, but I'm going to give it another try today. So I think I'm going to use, actually I think I'm going to mix like these two together. Like these peachier ones. Okay. And this does have like a strawberry scent to it, by the way. Okay, I like that. I don't remember loving it when I tried it the first time, but maybe I used the bright pinks. This may be a day of like rediscoveries, you know, things that just kind of fell out of favor. Maybe we'll pull some of those back out. Now for highlighter. The first thing I actually grabbed that was already out was my Champagne Pop from Becca. And there's that. And I thought, well, that's probably the closest I have. Little did I remember. The Marc Jacobs Cherry. This is actually the one I think my son picked for that look. So I've used this pretty recently. And then I went and dug through the drawer and I actually found the Cocoa Pebbles highlighter. I got this at TJ Maxx and I didn't actually buy this with the intention of using it. I know that sounds terrible, but I thought, okay, it looks pretty decent. Like it looks usable, but I don't think I ever actually applied this. I swatched it and I was like, well, I don't know. I kind of bought it for the same reason I bought the, you know, Revolution palette that was cocoa, or the Fruity Pebbles palette. I have like a weird obsession with cereal and these are adorable. So we're actually going to use this one today. So I'm going to pass on the other two at the moment. I'm actually going to apply this to the face and see how we like it. It actually reminds me of Pure Nude that I'm trying to pan. Like very similar vibe, right? Kind of that mix going on. So I'm going to try this one. And I think I'm going to go into like these two lighter shades here. I don't think I'm going to mix everything. But these like two white, the white and pink here, I think I'm going to kind of go between those two. Maybe even some of that brownish one. It's a little chunky looking. Like I'm having to really work like that. Let's grab our powder brush back out for that. So don't take it to the forehead. Alright. And I am tapping, like I'm going in pretty easy with this. Alright, let's take it down the nose. I mean, it is shiny. I will say that. Like, woof. But it is a little chunky looking. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish my mascara and put on some lashes. And then I will be back to finish up with the lips and we will be done. And we're back with lashes on, mascara on. The lashes took me a very long time to put on, so I'm really glad I turned the camera off for that, or we would have been sitting here all day. So, hopefully they look alright. I'm really loving wearing lashes. I feel like they look really fun, really, like they add so much to the look. But to apply them evenly, and to where they looks like it's one with your lashes, I'm trying. So I don't think it looks too bad, but in person it looks a little like off the face of it, but that's okay. But I found a handful of lip products actually, so I have some choices here. I pulled out the Cherry Coke lip balm or lip gloss, the Cherry Lip Glaze. I don't think I want to use this one. I don't think I want something that's dark. Like it's not like this color on the lips, but it is a more like brown tone. I also found a couple things from Too Faced, like we had talked about. That peach lipstick I recently took out of my project pan, which would be a good color with this, but My lips are already a little bit dry. All the other balm is worn off, so I don't know. The Too Faced Lip Injection in the Crispus Cocoa, but I wore this recently in one of these Sun Picks My Makeup videos, so I think we'll pass on those. e.l.f. had quite a few lip products here that had like cherry and fruit names. This one's cherry, pepper, nectar, and cream, and then we have black cherry, cherry slush, wild peach, and dragon fruit. So I think with the eyes I have going on, these are like full-on lipsticks. They are the Seriously Satin lipsticks, and then these are more like, I thought they were going to be like a tinted balm, but they are way more pigmented than that. They are way more pigmented than that. So I think I'm going to go with these though, one of these, just because I think it'll be nice, like shiny, pretty, so we'll do something bright. I kind of want to use Wild Peach or Cherry Slush. I think we'll go with Cherry Slush for right now. I don't know that I've worn this one yet. These are the texture of a balm. Like these apply like a lip balm, like really smooth, really creamy. But this is the lightest shade I have of this. The rest of these are like way more bold than this. And I don't love that in this formula. I wish it was like, I wish they were all kind of like this, like dialed back a bit. I wore, the first one I wore I think was this dragon fruit one. Because I thought it'd be like a nice neutrally color. It was like bright, very bright on the lips. And it kind of stains. And these were not what I thought they were going to be, but they are really pretty if you're wanting like a bright, balmy feeling lipstick. That's what these are. So this is the shade Cherry Slush. So it goes with all our cherry themed things. Now I don't really need a gloss over the top of this, but I did pull out my Glamlite glosses. I have one in Donut Glaze and one in Aqua Fresca. So I think we'll go ahead and use the shade Donut Glaze just for fun. Kind of smells sweet. And the other one does smell like strawberry ice. Alright, so here is the finished look with all of my food-themed makeup products. I really had a ton of stuff, and I guess you don't think about it that way. I don't think like, oh, most of this is like food-themed. These obviously, you know, the pizza palette that comes in the pizza box, the cake palette, you know, obviously food themed. But there were some where it's like, you know, cherry slush, donut glaze, toasted cinnamon, peach. Like so many things are related to food when it comes to makeup. It's interesting, like you don't notice it until you're applying an entire face full. I think I found some products that I have missed using, like this cake palette. Amazing. I don't know about some of the powders and things. That peach powder, maybe not my favorite, but I think the skin looks really nice. Those two foundations I paired together, the peach foundation mixed with the Revlon, I think that's going to be really good. I think we are done for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye.